La Mesa, San Marcos, Temple Belton, Round Rock, Bastrop, Georgetown, Kerrville, San Antonio to Buenos Aires and down under to New Orleans, New Zealand, Australia, over there in the lands beyond the seas and on the waters as well as who knows where. We write it in Poem a Day, Facebook, Poetry Pokes, emails galore, always open mics, in the dark corners of our minds, and endless conversations, crumpled notes on note paper, thumb drives, smarter than you phones, chat books, magazines, and journals, to all poets of the world, anonymous point rays of spectrum light, you represent us, the little ones, the common man, the emerging woman, the sages genderless. You come from somewhere to everywhere. There is one among us, our Diogenes, who serves gentle boldness daily. We dedicate this little book to as our expression of gratitude and respect. Elsie Cogswell named him Tom What's Next and Lady Wendy. That's who we've dedicated this book to. We're so grateful to honor together all the wonderful people. And we invite you to join us on Saturday evening at Kleberg Hall. There's a number of you here. Elaine is here. We'll be showing Eeyore's birthday party. 100 and how many slides you got flashing around there? Projecting on the wall. Magic Jack is bringing an entourage. I know, a couple, but I mean, going to be singing, doing all kinds of good things. Ron will be there. Tom and I are going to do something. Putting Tom on, that's not putting him on the spot. We're going to do a little mini play together. He's going to respond to some of my things out of that about the love of Austin and keepers of the flame. That's who we are. We're keepers of the flame, of that armadillo and of the future and all of those things that are there. Dora will have 7 artists who are displaying their work in a poem. 3 of them will be reading and competing for a $300 first prize, a $200 second prize, and a $100 third prize. And the people there, it's like tonight, if we're here, you would decide who gets first, second, and third. The art will be there. They'll share their poetry, which explains the poem, the picture as they see it. I did the judging yesterday, chose the best 3, but all 7 of them will be there. They all got honorable mentions. It's a fantastic experience to honor these young voices. And here, with what we've done, is to honoring the people who had their voices for long term, heritage and service while they're alive. Some barely kicking, but some kicking higher than others. Okay, so speaking of a man of letters, dear artist of the word, look again at the categories built in our youthful minds with word blocks, concepts, metaphoric materials, reaching for reality we were. We color that search in green, gray, burnt orange, red, white, and blue, black or white, and it's oh so many gray hues. Oh, our views all too soon become echoes, relics of another day and time, passed over, ignored, disproven. What will we do? Join the Chicken Little Brigade? Rant maddening phrases to ease our own inner tensions that scar the intended target and freeze them in their present stance? Are we able to see over our own ghettos? Am I? See and hear the other categories without losing our own core? Are we still able to reform our thoughts, our categories, our relationships? Are we able to lead, to walk at the head of the line, with service, not glory, our goal? Can we be keepers of the flame beyond our own tiny small flame? We must, we shall, we can. Look around. We are farther down the road. There are more with than against. Let our old myths die for the new to emerge. Beauty, skin, deep. When does beauty move from the skin to within? When wrinkles glow with memory and wisdom. When the fire called passion no longer consumes, yet burns bright. When previous pain, shame, perversities, distractions forgiven of self and those other culprits. Then beauty and wisdom and grace merge to form a new you from all that has gone before. Then beauty has gone within, turned around, shines out again through the skin. Yeah. When my children got married, umpteen years ago, like 21 for my son and 24, 25 for my daughter, I wrote them both a letter. This is the one I wrote to my son. It's been edited, of course, in the years past. Dear groom, dear son, how does one man tell another man how to love a woman when they're all so different, yet so much alike? When I, like any man, am an amateur, though a counselor and a minister, I flunked marriage 101 from one woman's point of view. Yet I've spent time studying and listening to women and woman in a professional and personal way. There is a wonder and a power in a woman worth all a man has. Yet how does he give all without compromising himself and losing her respect and affection? Listen to her. She's telling you all the time about herself, you and her children. Watch the way she moves, pulls back her hair, and looks at you out of the corner of her eye while pretending to ignore you, watching you watch her. Remember, the secrets of a woman are in her front, her back, her eyes, her hands, her voice, posture, like neon lights. It's only your and my tiredness and distractions, my own needs that keep me from seeing what she herself may not be ready to admit to herself or to you. She may be holding back those thoughts, those actions, because she recognizes your needs. Recall the smell of her hair, sometimes clean, and other times with the fragrance of her energy, spent working, taking care of your children and home, or playing in the dirt with flowers. Recall the sound of her voice as she wakens up, the ache or the fire of her sounds as she reaches for you, or the echo of a hard day's work. You hear the first words coming as she comes through the door. For you see, love comes by looking together in the same direction, not necessarily deep into each other's eyes. That way you'll end up in the same place. Remind yourself of that when the feelings are not as thrilling, or they don't last as long, or the edge on her voice cuts you deeper than anything you have ever heard her say. Tell me you love me, she says, sometimes with her eyes only. Don't miss that cue. And when you do, don't miss it the second time. Or surprise her soon without telling her what her eyes said. Put it in your own words or actions. For when you do it, even if it's a little bit or a whole lot awkward, she'll love what you say or you do in your way better than any poet. Those fine words or those metaphors that ring and sing are not what she's listening for. It's your voice. Only recall she will not respond necessarily perfectly. She has to learn to love in her way and her time, even more than you already do. Let the in-laws into your heart and home, not just the door, but on the floor of your heart. Their dirty shoes and all, yet saving the first and the best part for her, even above your own family. Then finally, let her love you. Sometimes I believe loving a woman is letting her love you. Not do all the work, relating and reaching out, but making it easier for her to care. Let her know when you're hurt and you're sad and you're mad or glad. Not dumping on her to feel better yourself, but so she will know where to kiss the hurt, or in her wisdom to let it alone to heal. We all have an amazing capacity to love and to give. But few men give fully what a lot of women give without thinking. But study her more than any book or sport. As I said before, she does not hide herself to punish, but to increase the pleasure in loving. For pleasure in loving moves beyond physical pleasure to a pleasure and a peace of the soul that can be felt when the body is tired, sick, or even dying. That is worth everything a man has. Not his own pleasure, but the knowing he has given to her his all. And when he learned to give more, he did. But giving is not about giving in. And to see in her eyes the respect and the tenderness, that is the goal of every man. That look which no wrinkle, no calorie, no temporary frustration can hide. When you and your partner learn 1 + 1 = 3. You, me, us.
Wow. That's a hard act to follow. Jeez. I want a copy of that. I want a copy, Peter. Oh, gosh. Well, let's give a big hand to all the featured readers tonight.